A brief moment online raised questions far beyond what was seen. Welcome to the channel Star Spotlight, where we explore the deeper stories behind public moments that quietly shape modern fame. In today's digital world, a single image can travel faster than context. For Mikayla Demaiter, one widely shared post became less about fashion and more about interpretation. At first glance, it seemed like a routine upload, a confident public figure continuing her presence in the modeling space. But the reaction that followed revealed something more complex, something that extended beyond the image itself. Many remember Demaiter for her transition from sports into modeling, a shift that drew both admiration and curiosity. What is less known is how carefully such transitions are navigated, especially under constant public attention. Before this moment, her journey had already reflected discipline and reinvention. Moving from the structure of athletics into a highly visible industry required both confidence and control. Each appearance, each post, became part of a larger narrative. Then came the turning point. The image in question sparked widespread discussion, not necessarily because of intent, but because of perception. Viewers interpreted it in different ways, and the conversation quickly moved beyond the original context. It is often said that public figures are seen not just as individuals, but as symbols shaped by audience expectations. In this case, those expectations seemed to shift almost instantly. Yet what followed was not escalation, but restraint. Rather than fueling the attention, Demaiter maintained a steady presence. No dramatic responses. No attempt to redefine the moment. Instead, she allowed time and perspective to do the work. What many did not notice was how common such moments have become in the digital age. The line between personal expression and public interpretation is often blurred, especially when images circulate without explanation. This raises a quieter question. Is the reaction truly about the moment itself, or about the lens through which it is viewed? For Demaiter, this phase became less about a single post and more about maintaining identity in a fast-moving environment. Her continued work reflected consistency, suggesting that one moment does not define an entire path. The emotional contrast here is subtle but important. On one side, a fleeting wave of attention. On the other, a long-term career built on persistence and adaptation. The difference between the two reveals where true legacy is formed. Over time, the conversation faded, as many do, but the underlying lesson remained. Public moments, especially in the digital era, often say more about collective perception than individual intention, and those who navigate them with composure tend to shape their own narrative in the end. Demaiter's story, in this instance, becomes a reflection of modern visibility, where clarity is not always immediate and understanding often comes later. In the end, what seemed like a defining moment became just one part of a much larger journey. And perhaps that is the real perspective worth holding on to. If this story gave you something to reflect on, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. You may also like the video and subscribe to Star Spotlight for more calm, meaningful stories like this.